Hey guys, it's your girl Annette Harris, the host of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys on this evening. This is the second part of our double header on today. And we are going to talk about the psychology of poverty and about your financial freedom in one moment.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with Annette.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your host, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so excited this evening to be here with you all. When you guys come into my live feed, I ask that you would go ahead and click the share button. Click the share button, like and share, love and share, care and share. Let us know you're out there. We are so ready to learn on this evening. Listen, I had the unction, or whatever you want to say, if you will, to do a series talking about the psychology of poverty. We started it a couple of weeks ago, and we actually had Marcus Hill, financial professional, as one of our guests. And he talked about our financial portfolio and the things that we need to take a look at so that we can move forward and receive this share of wealth that is due to us. And I decided that I wanted to reach out to my brother. The Jones family and the Adams family, we go back a long way. And so my dear brother he's been on the grind. I'm telling you, he's always, one thing I know about Mr. Larry Jones, he is always making it happen, if you will. That's what he's all about. And so I decided I wanted to reach out to him because he has this wonderful YouTube channel. What is it? Stock Up with Larry Jones.
Stock Up.
It used to have Uncle Larry TV. I don't know if he still had that or not, but
yes. Yep, keeping it rolling.
Keeping it rolling. Well, he's a wonderful musician, and there's so many accolades, to his name. He wears many different hats. But tonight we wanted to bring him in to talk to him about, or have him talk to us about the stock market. And we all know that, when you think about it, I'm just going to be honest. Black folks don't really migrate to the stock market, if you will. And, when we talk about the psychology of poverty, Larry, there are just
Yeah.
some things that I had pulled up in reference to it. And some of this I kind of read on the first segment I had. There was a question I had asked, does poverty itself lead to a negative state of mind, or does a negative state of mind lead to poverty?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, that's a question I throw out again tonight to even you viewers, watchers that are on here on tonight. I want you to think about that. I mean, you can answer it while we are on the live or not, or maybe it's something you need to think about yourself, because too many times, many live in poverty. They don't have to. They don't necessarily have to.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some things that we can do ourselves to come out of it if you're in it. And now Larry's mantra is financial freedom itself. So this is kind of what we want to start talking about. And I see you guys, and I appreciate you sharing. That's the noise you hear. Everybody's sharing. So thank you so much for doing that on tonight. Clicking the share button. You're listening to Annette, getting called in Annette.
I was trying to, while we're on, I guess I was trying to share it to my page. But go ahead.
You should have been tagged. Let me make
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, on this live feed, you're tagged, but
All
you
right.
you should be able to share it still.
Okay.
But yeah, so
There we
that question talked about poverty and then negative state of mind, which comes first, the chicken or the egg, So you
Right.
have to look at it, in that sense and understand a lot of times why people are in, a certain financial position. How did they get there? And then what can we do to help bring them out? So let's see. I have a lot of notes, but we're not going to have time for all of that tonight. I want to turn it over to Larry because so one of the first questions I want to ask you, Larry, is how did you even get into this particular area of, okay, I want to do this, education of the stock market, if you will. How
Yeah.
did you even decide that that's what you want to do? Because I'm quite sure you were doing it long before for yourself, long before you
Yeah.
even, and I'm just throwing words in his mouth, but I'm quite sure that that's what happened.
You're dead on. So I'm sorry. You ready?
So talk to us. How did you get into doing this that you want to help someone else?
I'm glad you asked that question because it's actually the most interesting part of my whole journey. Actually 7 months ago, probably 8 months ago now, I had a YouTube page. Those of you that know, it was for music, and I've been on it since 2009. So I had a YouTube page since 2009, and I had 16,000 followers. And it was, as they say, I was proud of it. It was my little baby where I could, create, right? COVID hit. I knew a lot of musicians were starving. I had just talked to a waitress, a restaurant waitress who, their income was gone. And I was looking at all of these industries, get devastated. And so what I did was I said, hey, I know a lot of you guys, I went to my YouTube page and I says, I know a lot of you guys are hurting out there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make money in the stock market so that when something like this happens again, you'll be ready for it, right? Switch my page over, change all the graphics, all of that, and press that final button and my heart dropped. 7 people unsubscribed. After the next day, I was in total protest. And I was like, why would you even go through the effort to unsubscribe? Just don't look at it, And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? So I just unselfishly just started teaching people and talking in a language which they can understand how to invest in the stock market. And so my page went from, and my goal was to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. By the end of last year, I was at 100,000 subscribers. I went from 16,800 to 100,000. As of today, like I haven't really checked because I try not to stay locked on the numbers, but I'm well over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I get to teach and minister actually to 300,000 people every day. And I haven't made a lot of noise on Facebook because I spend 90% of my time creating. So you have creators and you have consumers. I spend all my time creating on YouTube. So that's actually how it started.
Okay. Y'all see that big heart of his, because he's concerned. And you know what? I will say this. We can see how even the pandemic has kind of forced individuals or people into doing maybe sometimes things outside of what they would normally do. Yes. Or or enhance what they were doing, but yes. it definitely made a difference with some people. So yes. I thank you, in advance for that. And I see, I subscribe, so I see I'm one of those over 300,000 subscribers that you have. And which, by the way, you guys make sure that if you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to my brother's channel. Because you would definitely benefit from that. So it sounds like those 7 individuals that unsubscribed, they probably resubscribe.
I'll tell you this, and I told my brother Rodney Jones, Pastor Rodney Jones, who I see is on right now.
Oh,
yeah. I learned a lesson from that, and that was a lot of us are letting the 7 people run our lives. So here's the message, especially to business owners and pastors and leaders. In 1 month, the 7 people that unsubscribed, in 1 month, 1,000, I took a snapshot of 1,007 people had subscribed.
Now, what does that tell you?
That's a whole message right there. So I was freaked out by the 7, and that 7 got replaced with 1,000.
Wow.
And the number was exactly 1,007. And so I'm a numbers person, and I started looking at the analytics, and I see where I wanted to continue the growth pattern. And sometimes you got to let them 7 go, because the 7 is keeping you from the 1,000.
You know you're talking to me right now, don't you?
This is my gift. My gift is the gift of encouragement and building. That's what my gift is.
Yeah. And indeed, I would definitely say I agree that is definitely his gift. But yeah, that's a message in and of itself. Brandy, I see you on here, and Carolyn Smith, Marcus Hill is on, Buddy Gill is on and speaking to us. There's Pastor Rodney Jones.
Yeah.
All
What's
right,
up,
Dr.
buddy?
Hill. Yes, he's on here. He wants to learn tonight too. And I appreciate that. Dr. Hill, who was on earlier today, thank you for joining us on tonight. Brandy says here.
Who's that Dr. Hill? He's the financial guy?
That's Dr. Shirley Hill. She's your nutritional specialist here. I'm giving you a new name, Dr. Hill, but she comes on and does a health and wellness segment with me every 4th Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But actually, her son is the financial professional that I had on a couple weeks ago. Yes.
I'd like to check that out.
Yes. Got a lot to say. And I see he's on here tonight because he wants to learn as well. I'm going to read this comment, and then I'm going to ask you to jump right in with what you want to share with us on tonight, because I don't want anyone to miss anything. And guys, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and throw them into the comment section. We're here on Facebook Live and then also on my YouTube channel as well. So I can monitor both of those. And if you have anything for Mr. Jones on tonight, then please don't be shy. Throw it in there. He's willing to answer on tonight. Funny how God will urge us to switch gears. Man will protest and withdraw their support. Oh, but God will surely reward that obedience. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Carolyn Smith said, because of me, she became a subscriber to your channel. All right now. And invited her investment club members. Hey,
There you go.
actually going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, talk to us. Talk to us. You know, we didn't already heard why you started and everything. And
Right.
it is known that
Yeah.
Black folks, I'm just gonna say that, not necessarily, they don't necessarily migrate to the stock market.
Right.
It may seem a little bit,
Right.
They may be apprehensive about it. So
Well,
talk to us.
let me tell you this. The language of the stock market was created to keep the average man out. They actually make simple terms complicated and give it an entire different language. And so what it was created back then was so a few people could control the wealth of many. So you don't understand it. Why don't you give me your money and let me invest your money? Then I'm going to charge you $100 every time you want to buy a stock. And then I'm going to charge you another $100 when you want to sell the stock, right? So what happens was now we have the tools necessary that we don't need that middleman anymore. And then when the app Robinhood came along, it done away with all of the fees, so the fee levels started dropping because of competition. So I made my first investment actually in 1992. Myself and actually Bishop Terry Sanders, we were together in an investment club, and we actually we go way back. We're really good friends. We were in an investment club together, and back in 1992. And so it didn't go the way that I liked. I didn't go to the way that I wanted because someone else was controlling it, and it wasn't Bishop Sanders. It was someone else controlling it, and we just thought we would, do better if everybody went on their own, right? Fast forward to 1980, 83. So I get back in, but I learned my lessons. I did a lot of stuff, learned my lessons. So I've been investing for a long time, but I've been actively investing for over 25 years. And what happens was when the recession of 2008 hit, I made the most money I ever made in my life in the stock market. And so what I want to say to your audience is, every time a major catastrophe hit like COVID, and so there again, 2020, I made more money than I ever made in my life. 2008, during the recession, when my job got devastated, and 2020, what is that telling you? That is opportunity. That's the camel walking up to you and bowing its back so you can get on. Most people concentrate on the fear, right? But what you should be focusing on is the potential. I saw that traditional jobs a lot of them will be flattened. And I said to myself, I'm not going to let a job define me ever again. And so I started making these aggressive moves 7 months ago. And I will tell you that it has fared well for me. And collectively, my group, I call them family, we've made hundreds of millions of dollars during COVID. And so what I want to say with us is, if you look at the average product that we consume, say those glasses, them fine glasses you got on, or that cup you just drank from, right? I want you guys to understand this. The stock price of what we consume in most cases is less than the product that we consume. Think about that for a minute. So you want to buy your average son a pair of $350 Jordans. So you see these lines in front of these stores, right? So the Jordans cost $300, right? But the Nike stock is like $130. Think about that. Most of the products we consume, the stock is less. So what do we learn from that is, we need to be buying the stock and let the stock pay for the purchase. I'm buying a Tesla S-Series. And I was going to buy it this year, and I decided to wait until next year. You know why? Tesla's going to pay for my Tesla. I ain't paying for it. So what I'm doing is I'm buying the Tesla stock, and Tesla's going to pay for my Tesla. And so when you learn these principles that every rich person knows that they don't teach in traditional schools, you begin to value money differently. All right. I don't want to keep talking, but I have a lot to add to that.
Oh no, that's good stuff. I was really into it, and they're listening to you on here.
Yeah.
Marcus said he's subscribing now.
So one of the things that I want everybody to write down. This is powerful. When I learned this principle, it changed my life, and everybody should write this down. It is one of the most powerful things that you will ever see that will change the trajectory of your finances. I said that word trajectory. You hear that, Rodney? I said trajectory. Man, I feel smart. But anyway, I'm sorry. I like to joke. I like to have fun with people.
That's good. That's good. We need that.
Write this down. This is very important. If your money is not working for you, you will work for your money, comma, for the rest of your life. Let me say that again. If your money is not working for you, you will work for your money for the rest of your life. What we have to understand is that while we're at work, our money should be working for us. So, church people, I'm glad I'm talking to y'all tonight, because I'm about to get something that's been out of order in order. When you get your paycheck, you pay who first, Annette?
I pay my tithes.
Okay, so that's God. All right, then what else do you pay? Gotta have bills to live. You pay your what?
My bills.
Right. I will tell you, not one wealthy person does that. I want you to write this down. I also want everybody to write this down. And you know what? Write the vision, make it plain. When I say write this down, you may think it's small, or you may think, oh, I can remember this. I'm telling you, I look at these things every day because they are powerful. You pay God first, and you pay yourself second. 10%. Pay God first and pay yourself second. Rich people don't pay their bills first. They pay themselves first. Every wealthy person pays themselves first. I study wealthy person. I've had the ear of someone that's not just in paper, that's worth $5 billion. Billion with a B. And I will tell you, wealthy, you know some of you, Annette, you've seen some of the circles that I travel in, and I'm a sponge when I'm with them. I shut up and I listen. Wealthy people pay themselves first. And what it is it's a mindset to poverty. What traditional society teaches us is how to stay impoverished. They don't teach us how to get rich. They don't teach us how to retire wealthy. They don't teach us how to build generational wealth. The path is the same for the poor man as well as the rich man. The path is the same. Wealthy people understand that their money makes money for them. And once you understand that, it literally will change the entire trajectory of your life. It has for mine, making the same money that you're making right now. So I released a video yesterday called $5 a day. And if you look at the hashtag, I created a hashtag called $1 Million Cup of Coffee. And it literally shows you by investing $5 a day. So if you have a child, and you, especially those of you that's 18, if you start investing $5 a day, you have the potential to be a millionaire in 20 years. Okay? So let's say if you started at 20, because I can't count that good. That's 20, 30, 40. So you have the potential to retire at 45. As a matter of fact, if I knew what I know now, I would have retired at 45, not 65, 45, making the same amount of money. And you could live the same lifestyle that you're living. But we're consumers and we want everything right now. That's the problem. So I'm glad you're doing this. I've spoken for churches. And what we have to do is we have to teach this stuff to our members, because if our members are financially set, guess what that does for the church?
Be financially set.
Absolutely. So we teach, give God his first and pay yourself second. Everything else is behind that. And what I mean by paying yourself is invest it. Don't go run out and buy some shoes. Don't go run to the mall. Don't go running. Let me share with you a testimony that my followers that they saw in real time. And this is not braggadocious. I'm trying to free people financially. Last year we got the $1,200 stimulus check, right? I took my $1,200 stimulus check and I took my wife's $1,200 stimulus check. I said, all right, baby, give me that money. Through investing, though this is not the average, I understood that we were in a bull market. I took $2,400 through low cap stock, which is known as penny stock, but they're low cap stock. Technically, any stock that's under $5 is a penny stock, or under $10 is a penny stock. So I took low cap stock. I turned that $2,400 into $8,900. And then I diversified that and got into some crypto early because I invest in trends. Today it's $43,000, 7 months later.
Whoa.
So I took $2,400 and turned it into $43,000 because I didn't go run out and buy a flat screen TV. I didn't go out and start balling out with that money. I had my money working for me. And so this is what I'm trying to tell people. You don't have to have a lot of money to invest. But once you start investing, you kind of have a sigh of relief because you realize that you're on your way to financial freedom. So I'm gonna stop right there and let you ask some more questions.
Ooh, okay, you are really, but you know what? Okay, there was one thing that you said that is so true. We don't want to wait for things. You know, we want to, just like you said, you get the stimulus check and you immediately want to go out. You already got it. You have it planned out of your mind already before it even gets to your account or into your mailbox.
We have it spent.
We have it spent. And so it is with your tax returns and stuff too.
Yes.
You know, people, they have it spent already. And so if we would you're just telling us to kind of, do something with that, invest it. There was somebody on here from my church. They said Abounding Life would be paid off if we did.
You know what? That is the absolute truth.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Carolyn, I hear you. Traditional society and education teach us how to stay broke and forever service those who know better. Brandy's recapping your comments.
Yep.
Yeah, but Buddy says here, we've been taught to do the 40-40-40 plan.
Yep.
Work 40 hours per week for 40 years to only enjoy 40% in retirement. Oh, my goodness.
Right. And that's not even 40% anymore.
Whoa, okay.
So listen to this. I have a good friend that used to always say this, and now I actually use it on him, but it's the truth. Think about this. There's 3/3 to your entire life, and then you die. You work 1/3 of your life, you sleep 1/3 of your life, and you have 1/3 of your life to do whatever you want to do. Right? Let's break that down by the day. How many hours do your job the average job require you to work? 8 hours.
Per day, 8 hours. Mm-hmm.
That's 1/3 of the day, right? How much you already getting it? How much time do they tell you need to sleep? 8 hours. That's another 1/3 of your day, right? And then you got 1/3 left. 3 times 8 is what?
24.
How many hours are there in a day?
24.
All right. These are powerful principles, people. So here's what happens. We got to work because we like indoor plumbing. All right. We got to sleep. Our bodies require it. Most of us, I'm going to say something that's going to sound kind of gross, but I want to upset somebody. Most of us piss that other third away.
Wow. Yeah.
We literally do nothing with it. And so, you know what we do with it, that other third? We consume.
Yeah.
We don't create, we consume, right? We're on Facebook, we're on this, we're on that. It's okay to be on Facebook like we are now if it's adding value. So Damon from Shark Tank wrote a book that I have upstairs. And I was on a plane and I was reading it. And I have aha moments that changed my life. He interviewed 10 of the top people in their industries. One was a billionaire, one was the top golfer, one was the top music producer, in all these different walks of life, right? They all had one thing in common. And you know what that was? And I adopted that in 2019. You know what that is, Annette?
What's that?
They are proactive before they're reactive.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning they wake up, and I do the same thing. When they wake up in the morning, they do not read emails. They do not answer phone calls. They're not on Facebook or Instagram looking at cute dogs and funny puppies. They get their work done first. They get their emails out. They get their directives out. And then in the evening, they'll answer. So they're more productive every day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I know I'm talking to a lot of you guys. You guys are creators. And so what I do when I wake up, I'm not on Facebook. That's why you had to call me. I'm not on Facebook.
That's exactly why I had to call. That's so true.
And because you go on Facebook, and it's okay to be on Facebook, but set a timer, right? It's okay to be on Instagram, but set a timer. So what I'm doing is I'm at the stock market at 6:30 and 8 at 6 o'clock a.m. I'm looking at the pre-markets. I'm setting up my day. And then I'm shooting and editing and posting my videos, and I'm trading my own professional accounts. Plus I'm reading, and then after I finish all of that, I'm getting offers every day from companies. Then at the end of the day, I go over my offers. And in that order, I don't wake up and go over offers. I do it that day, that way every day, because I'm not a consumer. I'm a creator, right? And I want you guys to be creators. So there's people that say, I don't have money to get in the stock market. Hogwash. Everybody under the sound of my voice have money to put in the stock market.
Yeah.
If you've been to Starbucks, you got money to put in the stock market. If you've been to the mall, if you bought a Cinnabon, you got money to put in the stock market. You have money to make yourself money. The problem is it's simply you just don't understand it, and that's okay. But now we have pages like mine, YouTube. There's the reason why my page is successful is because I don't come off as a brainiac. I talk in a way that people understand.
Yeah.
I make it plain Jane as possible, and people can relate. And I'm myself. Like, I'm myself. I say words like ax and not ask. I can't even say ask, but, and I stay relatable. I'm talking to 40 different countries, and I just blamed it on Chicago. I like, hey, that's a Chicago thing. So, but I'm trying to level the playing field. But I'm going to say something else that you guys might want to write down, because it is so powerful. And I said this on video number 1. The greatest transfer of wealth, not just in your lifetime, but in the history of the world, is going to happen in the next 5 years. starting from last year. The biggest change in the world will happen in the next 10 years than it has over the last 100 years. So now, knowing that, what do we do? The problem with most of us is we're passive and then we're reactive. We let a new medium come on, and then first thing, especially church folk, first thing we do is we fight it. Then we understand it. Then we want to come on it. We did it with radio. We did it with television. We did it with Facebook. Anything we don't understand, we fight it first. Instead of trying to assess it, see what it is, and see how we could use it for our benefit. All of these churches had to be on live stream now, right?
Yep.
I know some that's on there that used to fight it. Yeah, I love Facebook going live, and now their services are forced into it. And a lot of pastors have found out that their giving have went up because people that would have never went to their church now live stream and see it, and now they're giving. And so what have we learned? What have we learned? We have to dominate. We have to dominate these industries. And so I say, getting back to investing is, if you don't have money to invest, create a side hustle and invest all of your side hustle. I will tell you guys that 3 years ago, I was driving Uber. I would leave my house. My business has a low right in the middle of summer, and it has a low in winter, my other business. My wife thought I was crazy. I would get in my car from Crown Point, Indiana, drive an hour downtown Chicago, especially on a Friday night, and work my butt off. And I took that money and I put it in the stock market. So I made money, and I got another job too. So I made money, and then so now my money is making money for me while I'm working my other job. Because I'm telling you, the grind is in creating your own wealth. If you put money in the bank, they're going to pay you 0.001% on traditional savings, right? Or 0.005%, right?
Yeah.
Inflation a lot of years rise higher than that. And I showed you where we're investing $5 a day, roughly over 20 years, you make about $45 over 10 years, $45 in savings. So if I could take $2,400 and flip it into $43,000, just think what you could do over 10 to 20 years. It requires patience. Now, there's a difference in trading and investing, and I do them both. I say that everyone should be doing them both. I'm gonna make a bold statement here on your page. I've never done this before. I'm gonna show everybody how to be a millionaire. Who want to know how to be a millionaire? It's like that game show. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
I want you guys to listen to this, because God sent me to let you guys know about this. This is a God thing. I'm telling you guys, there's more to worship than just, and there's more in serving God than just flipping down the aisles and saying hallelujah, right?
Yes.
The ministry has to be funded. We're supposed to be the ones to be able to fund the ministry, okay? So let me go back to something that's very important that I see that I've been studying in the market, and why I say the next 5 years is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth ever, right? The greatest transfer of wealth. What does the Bible say about transfer of wealth? He says that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the who? For the just, right? All right. All of these principles that I'm teaching is biblical. It's stored up for the just, but we have to position ourselves.
Come on now.
You're not going to be laying in bed on Instagram and God going to drop a bill of money out of the sky. That's not how it happens. God never felt it. When God found his disciples, they were all doing something. My dad used to say that all the time, and it's true. They wasn't laying under a shade tree, okay? And so what we have to do is position ourselves to become wealthy. It requires something. It requires you stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? And so there is an emerging market that is happening right now that is just like you finding Facebook at $24. It's just like you finding Tesla at $50, okay? Last year when I bought Tesla, I bought a share of Tesla at $700. I was like, this is the most money I've ever paid for a share in my life, right? Then it ran to $900. And then I bought 4 more shares, and I got 5 shares of Tesla. Then it ran to $2,000 like 2 months later. And then I went, okay, I got you now. I got you. And so what we have to understand is this. All of it, I did the studying for you guys. All I do on my page is tell you guys, hey, here's the study I've done. Here's a way you can make money. EVs, electric vehicles, are here to stay. Not only are they here to stay, we're just on the beginning of it. In 15 years, you will not be able to go to the store and buy a gas engine car. Did you hear that?
15.
In 15 years, you will not be able to go to the store and buy a brand new gas engine car. You won't. They'll all be electric vehicles. So what is that telling you? What most of us do is we wait till the stock run up, and now we want to go run and buy it. What we should be doing is buying these stock now and not worrying about dips, not worrying about the volatility, okay? I'm a partner in a site called Tip Ranks with the top analysts in the world gives, and I have the ultimate package, and I'm giving these people this stuff, and it shows you where this stock is going to be in the next, it's a prediction, of course, in the next 12 months. So China is 1.4 billion people. America's 335 million people. China is 4 times the size of America, right? They said by 2035 that 25% of their population must be driving EVs, electric vehicles. That's the size of America. Governor Gaffin in California, though some people call him a crack job, said by that year, by 2035, in the state of California, you will not be able to buy a gas engine car. See, we don't know this is going on because we're not spending the time in this space. So when he said that, I started loading up on Tesla, NIO, which is a Chinese car manufacturer. Okay, there's another one called CCIV, which is Lordstown Motor, which is an American car company, and General Motors. Because General Motors already have the infrastructure in place. All they have to do is retool. Now, I spend hours upon hours upon hours of research every day about stocks, looking at the companies, the PE ratios, how many stock options are there out there. I do all of the technical stuff, the charts, all of that stuff. And I'm suggesting to you guys, hey, you might want to look at this stuff, right? I'm telling you guys right now, in my EVs and charging stations, so now if I'm holding oil as some of my investments, I'm getting out of oil, and now these electric vehicles have to be charged. So I'm in the charging stations. There's charging station stocks out there that's $12 a share, $15 a share. I'm loading up on those now. By the year 2025, I'm going to take $100,000 and I'm going to turn that into $1 million.
Come on.
Because you could take $1,000 and turn that into $10,000. You understand what I'm saying? So what we need to be doing as a people is start investing Now, I want to paint a picture for you guys, and these are real numbers. Out of the trillions of dollars that go through the stock market every day, 70% of all goods consumed by Americans is traded in the stock market. So draw a pie, and 75% of the people that buy the stocks is not people, it's institutions. Think about that. Institutions.
Yeah.
So now 25% of that pie are what's called retail investors. That's you and I and everybody else. Only 25% of the entire stock market is retail investors, right? So if that's not telling you something, what is? But check this out. Out of that 25% slice, 85% of those are millionaires. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
I don't have.
I want you to write this.
I don't need a
Yep.
full minute.
I want you to write this down. If you want to be rich, do what rich people do. I'm going to say that again. If you want to be rich, do what rich people do. It's just that simple. You're going to find out they're not doing what you're doing. They don't have all their money in the bank. They don't have all their money in a savings account. They are putting money into their investments weekly, monthly, and not worrying about bills. I don't worry about bills anymore. When I started investing, I don't worry about bills anymore. I don't worry about my future. I don't worry about $5 a day will stop you from worrying. Now, I'm investing way more than $5 a day right at this point, but $5 a day should start somebody into go, I know this is only $5, but I'm literally changing the course of my financial future.
Yeah.
And that's how we need to start thinking. Then we need to say, I'm going to do another $5 a day for my kids. Because a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. And so those are some of the principles that we need to start doing to alter our lives, right? And so right now, I'm driving a 2014 Chrysler 300. Okay. And I could go get a Tesla right now if I want to, but I'm not going to get it. You know why? Tesla hasn't paid for it yet. So what I'm saying to us is, why do we have to wear everything? Why do we have to drive everything? Why do we have to bling bling everything? We have to show everybody how much money we wish we had instead of investing it. So you value money differently, right? And so oddly enough, I bought my wife a car, and then I says, well, how much money? I says, how much is the payoff on this car? Because I bought it used. And I said, how much the money is the payoff on this car? Guess how much it was, Annette? $2,800.
Really?
And guess how much stimulus check we all just got, if you're an adult.
There you go.
My wife and I, $2,800. I didn't go run and buy another flat screen TV, good people. I paid the car off. So we got one car note. I ain't flexing. I'm not trying to flex. I can afford way more house than I have. You've been in my studio.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a slave to a mortgage. I'm not going to be a slave to a mortgage. And so I got goals that I'm trying to hit by next year, even.
Right.
Bold goals, bold financial goals, right? Yeah. I said I'm going to pay my house off next year on my birthday. That's my bold goal. Okay. That's what I'm going to do, because living without bills is the new rich. Living debt free is the new rich.
Come on now.
And so, go ahead.
I want to throw this in here because you talk about, and all that I'm hearing, you know, from what you said, it really comes down to, and actually Angie, she made a comment about it, and I was thinking of the same thing, discipline and self-control.
It is.
That's really, because even when you started lining up what you do every day,
yep,
that's really what it boils down to.
discipline.
And then in addition to that, we have to have a mind change. Our mindset has to change. And I think that that's where we get caught up at, and hence the reason for this series, Psychology of Poverty. We get caught up in that, and we get caught up in the sense of we have to go and buy this, we have to go and have that. As you've already stated, you get your stimulus, you get your tax return, and you immediately want to go and buy. You don't want to wait for anything.
Right.
And we have to change that mindset if we even want to get on the page that you are on,
Right.
the instruction, even, so we can subscribe to your channel all we want. Our mindset still has to change and open up, because you are breaking it down. You broke it just even on tonight in simple layman terms for us, if you will.
You know what?
How we need to do.
I'm sorry, go ahead. It was delaying a little bit. Go ahead. I'm finished. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Well, I will tell you, in most cases, the biggest problems that most people have is 6 inches. In some cases, 8 inches.
Yep.
I always say this. I said this, and God deals with me differently than he deals with a lot of people. God shows me stuff. The problem with most people is God shows you stuff that you should be telling somebody else. Right? God always shows me stuff that God always shows me a mirror. I'm like Morris Day, and God is like Jerome. Jerome comes up with the mirror. See, and most people are not honest with themselves. So God always shows me what I'm doing wrong. All right, just like I said, I never forget it. It was probably 15 years ago now. I said, God, I want to be rich because I want to do something for people. I want to be able to bless people. You know what God said to me? Now, I didn't hear the audible voice of God, but this is the way God he literally talks back to me here. And he said, do it with what you got. Do it with what you got. There's a homeless dude right there. You got some money in your pocket. That fresh 20 you just pulled out the cash machine, prove me. I'm telling you, that's why God started dealing with me. And you know what? I started doing it. And I believe that's why I'm blessed. I literally started doing it. And I do it all the time. And people say, well, what I give, my wife knows, like when I got married, my wife, see, you can't count the many times. I just don't advertise it. I go see about people. I go be a blessing to people. I do it all the time. It's like second nature. I feel helpless if I can't. I do. I feel helpless if I can't. And so we got to understand some of these things we've been thinking about. Like, it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. What does that mean? Okay. It's more blessed to be able to give than to be the receiver. See, most of us are comfortable being the receivers. Oh, and I was out, my bills was out, and God blessed me to do that. Hey, don't be in that position again. Be the one that go pay somebody's mortgage.
Yeah.
See, but that takes courage. That takes action. We should be that's who we should focus on being. I don't want to be the one that God has to do a miracle every month for. I want to be the one that God uses to help the miracle happen. Like when God spoke to me at the bank, and I saw a lady who reminded me of my auntie, and God said, go in your pocket and give her all your money. Wow. And I'm like, oh God, not this again. Why are you doing this to me? I'm just telling you how me and God go get along. And this was during COVID. And God said, give her all your money. And you know, most of us men, ladies, we keep left pocket money and right pocket money. Right? So, because the wife may ask you for some money, right? I'm sorry, I'm gonna lose my man card right now. So I went into my left pocket. I went in my left pocket because I just left the bank. I just left the teller getting some pocket cash. And I went in my left pocket and I pulled it out and I got ready to give this lady this money. And she was at the little teller desk and she was counting her little bills. And God said, I told you to give her the money in your right pocket. This is the way God deals with me. See, y'all so too holy. He never disciplines y'all. He disciplines me all the time. So he that has an ear. So I was like, oh, and I'm not gonna lie. I sat there and I was walking in a circle and the lady in the tower was looking at me like, and I'm like doing this walk like, oh God, why are you asking me to do this? Now, I mean, this is gonna hurt. I mean, fresh bills. They don't even have wrinkles in them yet. And I go over to this lady and I said, lady, ma'am, I'm sorry. And she reminds me of my Aunt Arlie so much. And I says, and she was from Gary, because we talked afterwards. And I go, you're not gonna believe this. But God told me to give you this. This woman cried and fell into my arms. And the lady, one of the tellers came from under, is she okay? We had to help sit her down. And she looking at this money and she's sobbing. And this woman was counting her money, and the money that I gave her was exactly what she needed to keep her energy on. Her husband had the oxygen and all of this. And so as long as this money was exactly what she needed, right? So I'm just the mailman. We have to understand that I'm able to be used by God because I was obedient. And when he tells me to do something, I do it. So now I have a 5-second rule. When he tells me to do it, I run and do it. So I don't second guess it anymore. I got 5 seconds. Okay, God, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. So if he tells you to pick up that stranger's check at lunch, do it. If he tells you to go do this, do it. Something that requires you to do something. Because I don't mind giving away $50, $100, $20 if God is going to bless me tenfold. And that's not why you do it. You do it out of obedience. But we have to understand who we are and whose we are and why we're able to make this money. It's not so we can be braggadocious. It's so that we can serve God people better. That's why God is blessing. And so we're not living our full potential, good people, because we're not doing what we need to be doing. When you look at the parable of the talent, read it for yourself and tell me, what do you get out of the entire scripture? The passage of scripture. Read it for yourself, because it's about investing. And it's about your money making money for you. As a matter of fact, he was disgusted of the one that didn't and put him out. That's how disgusted he was.
Yeah.
He said, at least you could have put it in the bank and got interest.
At least.
At least. That's like the bare minimum. And so I'm saying this, it's okay to wake up now. I'm closer to 60 than I am 50. So it's okay to have these aha moments now. But now that we know, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do?
Yeah. And I will add to that is that we are going to have to answer also with the information that we are receiving. Like I said, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do?
And you know what? I got to put this in because this is the most powerful part of that story. And there's stories like that. I can tell you every week, sometimes 5 times a week, there's situations like that. I'm going to tell you that it is mind-blowing about how exact God is when he tells you to do something. It is mind-blowing. I've seen it time after time after time. But here's what I will tell you. When I got in the car and I left that lady, I thought about, had I not obeyed? Had I not obeyed? what God commissioned me to do, then what? And so we have to understand that money is the root of all evil, but money answers all things. Think about the dichotomy in those two lessons. And we have to understand that it's what you do with the money. So some people think that, oh, you're not supposed to talk about it. We've been trained, oh, you're not supposed to talk about money. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And we've been taught that you shouldn't pursue money. That's another lie from hell. Pursue money just like you pursue wealth. Because when you don't have to worry about your bills and that, when you could wake up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to go be a blessing to this person. When you say, if I'm in church and there's a leak in the roof, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pay for it. When you say, the next time I see somebody hurting or I see a homeless person, I want to be able to put something in their hand and I just look at them, then that is the usage of money. Not about how much I could wear, how much I could bling and all of that. That don't do nothing for me anymore. I value money totally different. I like my money making money. And so we understand why God, what the whole money system is about. It's to be a blessing to others. Go ahead. I want you to ask more questions because I can stay in this vein all night long.
But you know what? It's good. This is what we need. You're doing exactly how I envisioned it when I was trying to put this together. This is exactly what we need. We need that breakdown, Larry. We need it. That way, because if you have the answer, or the means of how to get to, point Z.
Right.
Then
right.
You take it. You don't have an excuse any longer. You don't have an excuse. Yeah. And you're getting everything across to us tonight. And I love this. Oh my God, we said we were going to do an hour. It's already been an hour.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
I'm going to share this with you. And this is a bold statement. When I started my page, God said that to me, that I was going to create an army of millionaires, a multitude of millionaires. He that have an ear, let him hear. So here's what I want to say to you guys. If I'm in a desert and I find a bottle of water buried in the sand, right? And I got 1,000 people with me, it's okay for me to drink that water because everybody else is going to die anyway, right? Your body has to have water. It's okay for me to drink that bottle of water, right? Everybody else is going to die anyway, right? But if that same 1,000 of people are with me and I break away and go over a sand hill and I see fresh drinking water, right? If I see a river of fresh drinking water, then I am stupid and selfish not to run over that hill screaming, hey, everybody, there's water over here. We could all drink. I can't drink all this water by myself. So that's what we have to start doing, good people. I on my page, I say good people all the time. That's my sign on what's up, good people. That's what I'm doing on my page. And that's why it's growing. I'm sharing this knowledge for free. And when you go on the page, I have a beginner's course. Though I am working on an ultimate beginner's course that will be for sale. That's going to be months down the road. But everything is free. And I am literally talking to people every day. But on Easter morning, I don't know if you saw that, but on Easter morning, if you go to my page, it's called Easter Message. I got to minister on Easter morning. And I talked about my faith. And and 18,000 people viewed it. And if you read the comments from Muslims, from atheists, I had one brother, you could tell it's a brother, he was SHIT, man, you got me tearing up right now. one Muslim brother saying, you know what, thank you for showing the love of Christ. One atheist saying, you know, I never even really believed in God, but now that I see that you know, are a Christian, then maybe I need to give this a second thought. And I'm going to ask your audience to go to my page and look at that. I asked everybody to write their name, post their names, and I want you to just simply pray over their finances. There's hundreds and hundreds of comments. It's probably closer to 1,000 than 100, than 500. And I just need you guys to help me pray for these people, because I promised God, he showed me that I will not be behind a pulpit. God showed me this years ago. I got dynamic preachers in my family. Pastor Rodney Jones is one of them. Walter, yeah, he's my brother. Good people. I had nothing to do with that. They brought him home from the hospital. And I was like, another one? But anyway, but he showed me I was speaking to a multitude of people. But we have to understand that God uses other tools sometimes to make your voice big so that he may be known.
Yeah.
And so that's what God showed me, that this year I will be speaking to 500,000 people. And I'm going to proclaim Christ again when I do it in front of 500,000 people. And lives will be converted through the stock market.
Through the stock market.
Marketplace ministry. Past Bishop Terry Sanders talks about that all the time. He and I talk about that all the time. The power of marketplace ministry.
Listen, can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Before you said that, as you've been talking tonight, it was all in my mind. Yes, you come from a family of ministers, preachers, pastors, bishops, all of that. I said, but he may not have a Church of God in Christ license, but you are ministering. That's all that was in my mind the entire night as you're talking. And
I can tell you this. You can't get more Church of God in Christ than me. My great grandfather dug the first foundation for the first Church of God in Christ, and I've worked in the first Church of God in Christ, me and my brothers. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If somebody threw the title of pastor, bishop, or superintendent over me and I thought it was gonna hit me, I'd run so it hit the ground. Because that's not my calling.
yeah.
But I am a minister of the gospel. And so are you, and so is everybody listening to my voice right now. And we have to understand that 2020 was about the great uncovering. It showed you. I got to preach this message, and I know I'm going to have to come back on it and go back deeper into investing. 2020 was about the great uncovering. And a lot of people said, hey, you know, we thought it was teed up to be 2020 vision. I said it was. It absolutely was about 2020 vision. It was for you to get to see you. If your immune system was weak, that got uncovered. If your finances was weak, that got uncovered. If you were racist, that got uncovered. If you were a small church that did big things and fed people, that got uncovered in a good way. If you were a small or big church and you were all about yourselves and not about the people, that got uncovered. 2020 was about the great uncovering, good people.
Yes.
What have we learned? Half of you guys listening to me found out that your job was not security. That got uncovered. Okay? My wife worked for her company 24 years. In January, we were in Texas. She was getting celebrated on a stage full of people. And then she gets a call, she's laid off months later when COVID hit, because she worked in the hotel industry. It got devastated. And so what have we learned, good people? What have we learned? Look at what's weak. I go walking every day right now. In a few days, I'll be in that big hole called the Grand Canyon, going on a hike. Never hiked a day in my life. I want to build me up, mind, body, and soul.
There you go.
Okay, caught in a net. And I I'm spending more time meditating. I'm spending more time reading. I'm spending every area where Larry was weak, I'm building up because COVID showed me where I was weak. Okay? And that's what it should do for all of us. All right? I'm gonna leave that alone.
You know, I would probably summarize 2020 as the big reveal. Like you said, it was uncovering the big reveal.
Yep.
And okay, yes, you have to come back. We have to have you back. I wanted to stay true to my word and doing the hour because I don't want him to say, I don't want to go back on her show because she don't honor the time.
Hey, this is what I want all your people to, this is what I want all your people to do that's listening. I want you to go to my page and pull up any video. The last video I posted, I want you to do it now. It's called it's called $5 a Day Challenge, right? Under there is if you read the description, there is an app called Webull, right? And I want you to click that link. I'm sorry, this is taking over my phone here. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
It said
your video's gone. Okay.
No, it was saying that my battery was running low. So there's a Webull link. I want you to download that link. And what that is an investment app. Oh, Webull, right? With that Webull link, it allows you to invest before the market opens and after the market closes, right? And I will do a tutorial on how to use it. And I will send you the tutorial on how to use it, and you could share it with everybody. All you have to do is download the app, and you can deposit $100 and you can start trading. Okay, but we're going to show you how to use the app, right? And so what that is going to do is it's going to get your feet wet, but it's also going to start you guys on this path for those of you that's never invested. Okay, and we have to. I start my daughters. Not only I literally called them and said, y'all come here, come to the house. They both came to the house. I downloaded them the apps and I put money in both for their apps. And I says, I want you guys to listen to my show and I want to see how you grow your money. That's it. What they're going to find out now is I actually started another account for them, right? And so not only am I investing for me, I'm investing for my kids and my kids' kids. I started that now. And that's what we have to do because the Bible commanded you to do that, right? So we don't want to be rich. We want to be wealthy. Football players are rich and have a 3-year contract and get hurt and live out, blinging out all of the time. And then 2 years later, they're poor. 80% of people that win a lottery are broke in 5 to 7 years. They were rich. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to create generational wealth. I want some of my money to go to my kids. I want my kids to live a good financial life. And I want my kids, like the Bible said, to live a good financial life. Okay? So that's what I want to say to everybody.
Okay. All right. You guys make sure you go to his YouTube channel. And Demetra Pitts, I believe she put the link for your YouTube channel in the comment section. Thank you for doing that. And
can we answer 2 questions? I know I talked a lot. I got another few minutes if you want to pop a few questions off.
Okay. Let me scroll back up. You guys, if you can throw in any questions, because they've been commenting. But if you have any questions for Larry on tonight, go ahead and throw that into the comments section now. He's given us a few extra minutes on tonight. And you can, let's see, who is this? Oh, okay. Thank you, Demetrius. Auntie Linda, I see you on. I'm scrolling back up, guys, to see if there were any questions that we missed as we were being. He was learning us something tonight. We learned.
Learning.
But this is good. As I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to put in a question for you, I want to just commend you, because even in listening to you and seeing, I know you anyway, period, before tonight. I love the unselfish spirit that you have, the selfless spirit, however you want to say it, because you have a lot of knowledge, okay, and you're sharing it with us on YouTube, and you're taking time out to instruct. Everybody doesn't do that.
I want legacy. I want to create legacy, right? So if I help you pay your mortgage off, if I help you, the carpenter or the waitress or the barbers out there that don't have a 401k, that don't have a retirement, if I help you retire with $1 million, $800,000 that you wouldn't have had, then that is my legacy. If I help your kids, that's 18 and 20, those are the ones I'm really reaching out, because the sooner you start, the better you're going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now. If Annette's kids winds up, I'm just using for example.
Yeah.
If Bob's kids, if Rodney Jones' kids, if Carolyn's kids, is Demetria's kids, is Kamitra's kids, start right now and are doing well down the road, then that's my legacy. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Then my legacy lives on.
I love it.
That's what I'm about.
We have too many people too often who just, have it all for themselves. They want to gather it all in for themselves, and they don't want to share with anybody. So
because they don't understand that this is not a fish tank; it's an ocean, people. It's not a fish tank; it's an ocean. I'm gonna hit you with something else. Money is like matter, right? There's no new matter created. I learned this when I was in corporate America dealing with energy, right? So cold air does not dissipate, and hot air does not dissipate. Cold air chases hot air away. Hot air chases cold air away. When you turn your furnace on, the hot air chases the cold air away. So the matter never disappears. It never dissipates. Money, and a lot of people are in Bitcoin. There's only a certain amount of Bitcoin in the world, and that's it. Money is like matter. It's shifted. So back in the 70s, money was worth its weight in gold, right? And so Nixon done away with that, right? And so for every dollar they're printing, they supposed to destroy it, though America is printing more money. But wealth, there is no new wealth, right? It's shifted. And the Bible tells us that the wealth of the wicked is stored up. He didn't say I'm creating new wealth. Think about these things. It's shifting. And so now, for every stock that's sold, somebody buys it. And for every stock that's bought, somebody sold it, right? And that's why I teach people, look for the red. Don't chase the green. Buy red, sell green. And so what we have to understand is, how are you going to get the money? The $1 million that's coming your way, or the money that's going to pay off your mortgage, Annette, is in somebody else's pocket right now. It's in somebody else's bank account. The Bible says that some of those people are what? Wicked. So how are you going to get it?
Awesome.
I'm gonna leave that alone. That's a whole nother message right there.
That's a great breakdown. But see, you're making us think, which is what we need to do.
Yeah.
And it still ties back into that changing of the mindset. So we need to think, we need to understand, we need to change this mindset. Hey, I'm going to be a millionaire, okay? And I'm going to learn from my brother here how to do this investment, stocks, and everything.
Infidelity, when you go to transfer money out of your bank account into your Fidelity account, it says is this a one-time transaction or a monthly transaction? I got mine set on monthly. My trading account gets funded automatically. And that's what I teach people. If you are paying your bills automatically, why not pay yourself? Go ahead. Go ahead.
It makes sense. Okay, I do have a couple of questions. This is so exciting, I'm telling you. Carolyn said, can you name a few stocks to invest in now?
If you're patient, I'm here. The stock that I have to say this as a disclaimer because I say it on my page all the time. Before you make any financial decisions, you should first do your own research and consult with your financial advisor, to which I am not. I am sharing with you what Larry would do. All right, that's my financial disclosure. So I have what's called high growth stock, right? Stock that I'm not touching until 2025. I'm not even thinking about touching. So we have to understand there's something called parabolic moves. And this is important. So what a parabolic move is, it's like stairs going up, right? So here's what happens to a lot of first-time investors. Stock runs up, stock falls down, they panic, they sell, they get out, and they said, see, I told you. All of us have brokers, right? All of us have brokers. We have car brokers, we got stock brokers, and we got neighborhood brokers. You know what neighborhood brokers are? They broke and they want to keep you broker. Stop listening to your neighborhood brokers, right? So what's a, I'm gonna hit you with a lot of information. So a parabolic move does this, right? Just think of stairs. So we buy here and then it goes up, we're happy, then it falls down, we go, oh, I knew it was a bust, and now we're out, right? But what smart investors know that if I bought it at 10 and it runs up to $50 and it falls down to 20, I still made money because I bought it at 10, right? Then it runs up to $150, then it falls down to 40. And then it goes up to $200, and then it falls down to $75. You bought it at 10. It's a game of patience if you're in a good, solid company, good PE ratios, solid books, you know, income rev, all of that, right? So I'm going to give you some stocks that I'm going to say, if you buy it now, it's going to bless you by 2025. And if you don't have the patience to wait a few years, don't get in the stock market. I'm going to give you a couple of them. One is NIO, N-I-O. I bought some more today. They're having their earnings call tomorrow, right? Here's what I would do. If you have money, let's say you got $1,000. This thing, I got to make this one quick.
Okay.
All right. Let's say you got $1,000, right? Then I would put, before Thursday, I would put 500 in now because it may run up. And then I would put 500 in after their earnings, which is Thursday night, because it may pull back about 3%. But then I keep it in there to 2025. I'm predicting that stock will be up 400% by 2025. Another one is CCIV, ticker symbol CCIV.
Okay.
All right, that's Churchill Capital. They're about to do a merger with Lucid Motors. That's also an EV, electric vehicle company. Another one is called ChargePoint, CHPT. Okay, they do the charging stations. These are all in EVs, right? Another one is CLII, right? That's a really cheap stock. You buy those now, I would say buy all 4 of them now. By 2025, you're going to be dancing. So you're going to be tearing the church up, right? And there's a lot more, but those, I'm going to just keep it right there. Let's get one more in before this battery drops out.
Okay, all right. Brandy says here, so for someone who wants to be forward thinking, has very little flexible income, and has no idea how or where to start investing, where do you suggest that they start? And what are the first small steps to making a change?
the first small step of making a change is investing $5 a day. Okay. And you can invest, I would say, limited funds and all of that. I would say start with an ETF. It's called an ETF. One of them that I like right now is called ARK Investment. The ticker symbol is ARKK. Yeah, ARKK.
Okay.
It's called ARK Investments, and they are into future. They're into 3D printing. They're into fintech, which is financial and technical. They're into gene therapy. They're into Tesla. They're into electric vehicles. They're into charging stations. It's all forward stuff. And so I would say start there. And I would just, try to buy a stock a month. It's like at 120 something. Buy one a month because it's an ETF. So what an ETF is just imagine a paper bag with 40 different stocks all into one. And so that's the easiest way. You're on autopilot with those.
Okay. All right, ladies, thank you for those questions. We're going to have him to come back, but hopefully he answered for you. And I tried to, as you were talking about the different stocks, I tried to type them in to her response so that she would be able to.
And then I'll throw another one in there. It's another ETF. It's simply called QQQ. What QQQ is basically is a snapshot of the overall market, and it has an annual return of about 10%. So QQQ is safe. ARK is a little more risky. QQQ is safe. So I would diversify. Get for every share of QQQ, for every share of ARK you get a share of QQQ, and you'll be balanced.
Okay. Okay. Well, Larry, you and I are going to have to talk because I want to try and get you back as soon as possible. I know you have some things coming up, but we're going to try and coordinate our schedules, our calendars, so that we can have you back. They're really enjoying it. So what I want you guys to do, as we are planning the next time to have him on, get your questions ready for him. Anything that you want to ask, go ahead.
And you know what I want everybody to do? If you go to my YouTube page, you'll see, if you scroll down, you'll see these playlists. I have one called Investing for Beginners. Pretty much everything you need to know to answer her question, just watch those videos. They're all about 12 minutes a piece. Watch every video in that playlist. As a matter of fact, if you hit the playlist, it's going to play them all.
Okay. All right.
It shows you how to open up a Fidelity account. It shows you how to execute a trade. It shows you everything right there for free.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, please, if you have not subscribed to his YouTube channel, please make sure you do that on this evening. Stock up with Larry Jones. He just made mention of a beginner's video that he did for investors. So please make sure you do that. They're saying they enjoyed you on tonight. So I thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, and I'm talking fast because I don't want your phone to go out again. But thank you again. I appreciate
for those of y'all that don't know, Annette is a singer also. Her and her sister, they've done some studio work for me, and actually I'm gonna be calling them pretty soon.
Look, I gotta go hide behind my cup. Did you really just do that to me? But that's okay. Look, I always tell people I need music to cover me up when I sing. All right, I think his phone just kind of dropped out on him, but this was great. And I'm telling you, this information, we're going to take it in, guys, because we want this wealth transfer to happen for us. We want to become millionaires. And think about all the stuff that he said on tonight. 2020 was a reveal. 2020 showed us a lot of things, health-wise, financial-wise. And so we want to take in as much as we can to learn so we can kind of better ourselves. Reset that mind. Mindset has to change. The psychology of poverty. Many are born into poverty, but we want to change that around. We don't always have to hurry and purchase things. We need to have patience. We need to have discipline. And again, I'm just summarizing, a little bit of what he talked about on tonight. He just made a comment that he lost contact. But thank you again, Larry. I appreciate you for your time on tonight and for your patience. And again, I can't help but tell you, I do Thank God for you not being selfish and sharing the information that God has given you, that you have learned, you've taken time to study. We don't take that for granted, because somebody needs to take time out with individuals who don't really know exactly what to do. I'm going to scroll up and see if I see any comments or questions or anything on here. Buddy says, thanks for sharing. Talking to you, Larry. Great show, Annette from Carolyn. Let's see here. One of the greatest shows ever. Money answers all things, says Buddy Gill. That's my buddy, I tell you. Fidelity, yes, that's who you're using, Carolyn. Okay, great. Yeah, and if you're just not joining us, you're gonna have to rewind the entire segment. There's some great nuggets that he shared with us on tonight, and you will not be disappointed. We're gonna have this again. This is a series talking about the psychology of poverty. So I'm definitely gonna have Mr. Jones back on. I'm gonna have Marcus Hill back on. Because we want to get what's ours, and we want to learn how to get it. And these gentlemen, I'm telling you, have definitely given us what we need to know. And let me throw this in there as well. You know, a lot of times we look at, and we've gone through a lot of things, even with our Black men. But you know what came to me as I was getting this series together, and then I started reaching out to individuals to come and be on the show. I said, so far, I've reached out to my brothers. And I think it's apropos for our brothers to be out in front and instructing us and telling us what to do. We have some very intelligent brothers, I'm telling you. And the two that I've had on thus far, they didn't come to play. You know, they came to lay it out for us. But I appreciate how they have stepped out in front. Because when you're the head of that house, as the Bible say, and when I see my brothers stepping out and doing, what they need to do to get their family, their communities, and the society in order, oh my goodness, we can change the world. We can change things. Okay, so this is definitely what we need. Larry said it's up to us to break the cycle and start a new legacy. Yes, I totally agree with that. And my brothers, if you're walking that walk, hey, I'm following you. And I see a lot of viewers and supporters are going to follow you as well. So again, I just appreciate the time. I appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing with us. So don't be disappointed, guys. If you didn't catch the whole thing, you can always go back and rewind and listen to it in its entirety. But just know that this series will continue, the psychology of poverty. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up my second show of the day. We did a 2-for-1, if you will, on today. As they say in baseball, we played 2 on today. We played 2. So this was great stuff. And hey, we're going to make this work. We are going to make this work. All right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to play my end. Oh, my goodness. Listen to the spoken word, guys. Totally forgot.
Living on the Wall Street blues, highs and lows. Where will the Dow stop? No one knows. However, we strive every day to anticipate on how the stocks will flow. Carefully investing and investigating, looking for that one thing that will enable us to grab the brass ring, discover our fortune and develop our future, finding that thing that we feel will make us happy and complete because we feel that financial heartbeat beating strong. However, is that what truly makes us happy? Do we truly have peace of mind? While we invest in cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, tech, and 5G, so many options, how do we know which is for us? Can we keep up with the Joneses? As we pick the brain of Brother Larry, what's the next big tip that should help us to tip the scales of fortune in our favor?
Thank you, Elder Kevin McGee, for penning that spoken word. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We will see you soon. All right, I always tell you at the end of every broadcast, you guys be safe. Wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance, physical distance, if you will. Please be safe. Even if you've been vaccinated, wear your mask when you are in crowds. All right, guys, peace. Take care. We'll see you soon.